98% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't lived the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and damn, they sent me where the life is be. The level 4 with depth and fights, the type of shit they like to see. True choices fight or flee, I refuse to die a chump. I never been a bitch, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get punked, some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5. Year-long racial fights when homie, all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole, causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, bulldogs and skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF and Gumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. The Northerners was loony, quick to ride up on their rivals. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in their Bibles. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damoos, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IEs, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pie Rules, the Hustlers quick to roll, the Gangsta Crips move. Whatever clique you choose, you better stick to the...
Say, what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down! Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. Yeah, that's me gassing on the intro like I keep telling y'all. The flow is nothing like Curtis Blow. If you want to check out more of my music, go to my YouTube playlist, scroll down to gas stations, and you will find more of my music there. Also, if you're new to the page, I'm telling you, man, check out some of my older content. Scroll down through there. I have my topics organized into different categories on my playlist, and you will find something that you like, man. Now let's hop right up into this video. So this particular video takes place in a prison known as Ironwood. Ironwood was in a city by the name of Blythe, California. Blythe was maybe about 10 or 15 minutes from Arizona, and it got extremely hot down there in the summertime, man. In the summertime, probably about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, it would already be 100, 102 degrees, you know. So it was very hot, you know, and this was the level 3 yard. So down there in Ironwood, you had a couple of COs who was known to talk extremely crazy at times to the convicts. One of those COs happened to be a black lady, and I'm going to just call her Miss B. Miss B was probably about 5'7", maybe about 160, probably in her late 40s to early 50s, right? And so when I first encountered Miss B, it happened to be in Ironwood, but I was on B yard. And so she was working in the building, and it was the first time that I had seen her, and she was doing the phone sign-up list. So now how the phone sign-up list works is, at whatever particular time they're doing the phone sign-ups, all the convicts would line up. She would be sitting in a chair at the podium. The line would be to the left of her. We'd come up, we'd look at the phone list, see what times were available. Then we would tell her the 2 times that we wanted, because we got 2 phone calls, and she would write them down. And then, you know, next person come up, right? So I'm waiting in line, right? And so when I get up there, she's got the list in front of her. I'm to the left of her in the line. So I try to lean forward a little bit so I can see some better times. And she said, "Damn, you ain't got to be leaning all over here with them big ass glasses. Can't you see from over there?" Now, this is the first words that me and her have ever had in my life. So I'm like, damn. She said, "Yeah, boy, you can see," or something along those lines, right? Now, like I said, she was an older black lady. I have always been, you know, taught to respect black women especially, but especially black women, of course, you know. And so I just asked her for my 2 phone. I told her the 2 times that I wanted, and I moved on, you know. The next couple of times that I seen her, then she would speak to me very cordial. She would call me by my last name and say, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, so I don't know if it was due to the fact that I didn't blow up on her or whatever, but from that point forward, she always seemed to be real nice and respectful, at least towards me. I remember a while after that, I ended up going to the hole. I got caught up in a riot on C Yard, and I was asking her if she could get some magazines from these dudes downstairs. She said, "No, I don't mess with them." And then she went to lightweight cussing like they disrespectful and blah, 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 you know. So she did have a ferocious tongue on her at times, right? So now fast forward, I'm back on A Yard, and I believe I was in 3 building, right? And so this is nighttime, maybe about 8:45, you know, because it was almost time for us to lock up, right? So I don't know what it was exactly she said to this Mexican dude, Southerner, you know, But all of a sudden, I just hear them arguing back and forth. She's up in the tower. Now I'm gonna put a picture up. Now, if you look on the right, there's a door. Then you look above that door, there's bars going around, and that's where the guards in the tower would be. You know, in the tower they have a Mini 14 up there. They also have a block gun, a gun that shoots wooden projectiles. You know, they man the phones. They also have a button up there to open the cell doors manually and things of that nature, right? So, like I said, I'm to the right of that because if you look at that picture that I'm gonna put up, and you can almost see going around the corner, to the right side is the black day room. I don't know if you're able to see to the left side of that, and that's where the Southerners and the whites were, right? So I don't know what I was doing or whatever, but like I said, I just happened to notice her in a real heated argument with this Southerner dude. Now, the Southerner dude probably was in his early 20s, I would say, maybe 25, 26, maybe about 5'9", 5'10", kind of stocky dude, you know, maybe about 215, 225, somewhere around there, you know, kind of a bigger stocky dude or whatever. And they're arguing back and forth. I don't know what the nature of this argument is, but then suddenly, as I spoke earlier, and sometimes when they was doing the phone list, they'd be sitting in these chairs. They would have these chairs that had the 4 wheels on them, and you could roll around on them and all that stuff. He goes over there, he grabs the chair, he picks the chair up and just whoom, throw the chair way up there at the at those bars that protects her or whatever, you know. So now when the chair hit the bars, the chair of course falls back down, and when it falls back down, just so happened it's a black dude walking. And the chair, he's coming from around the corner, right? I don't know if he was over there watching TV or he was happening to go to the other side or whatever he was doing, right? But when the chair comes down, the chair like bam hits the ground and bounces and almost hits him. So he sees the Southerner, you know, yelling at her or whatever. So it's obvious to him that the Southerner has thrown the chair. So then he says something to the Southerner, right? So now they have a word or two, right? And so you may, of course, when he threw this chair up there or whatever, Southerners and blacks hear the commotions, and now so nobody really knows what's going on unless you've been paying full attention to the whole scene, right? So now suddenly, now you have blacks getting up, they starting to gather because, like I said, as the dude came around the corner, that just so happened was the black side of the day room where we had a TV and all that type of stuff, and so now you getting blacks, starting to stand up and trying to figure out what's going on. So of course you're also having Southerners now. Everybody is huddling up, kind of like, well, not necessarily huddling up, but they're standing up now. They're looking. You know, you got blacks on this side, you got Southerners on this side. Everybody just kind of looking and wondering what's going on. So now, of course, you got people on both sides starting to notice. You got more Mexicans coming down there, joining the side of their people. And now you have more blacks coming down there joining the side of their people. You know, you got dudes coming all from upstairs, downstairs, from the other side of the day room, you know, and of course, like I said, each if you black, you going, of course, to the black group. The Mexicans are going to, you know, where the Southsiders is huddled up, right? So now dudes is trying to figure out, like, damn, okay, what's going on or whatever. So somebody spoke up for the blacks or whatever and said, hey man, the dude threw the chair up there and the chair damn near hit the brother. So dudes is like, the black dudes is like, well, what's up, homie? What's cracking? What we gonna do? Eventually, once the story all comes out, you got the brothers over there were like, okay, man, the dude was throwing the chair up there at the CO. He wasn't trying to hit the brother with the chair. The chair just accidentally came down, man, and almost hit the brother or whatever. The brother had some few words because I guess he didn't realize what was going on when he bent the corner or whatever. So after the blacks or whatever figured out what was going on, they said, of course, homie, you know, that's between the dude and the CO. We definitely ain't huddled up or grouped up in defense of the CO, because at the end of the day, even though she was a black woman, even though she was black, at the end of the day, man, she's a CO. So now, while everybody is still grouping and stuff standing there, it's almost time, or maybe even a little past time, for us to lock up and go back to our cells for the night. So they started telling everybody to lock up, but you still have people just milling around trying to figure out what's going on, right? So eventually you have a lot of guards start coming up in the building. You know, once they start coming up in the building, people is still just standing around, you know, trying to figure everything out. So once word got circulated through all, you know, through all the brothers, and I can't remember maybe if some of the blacks had went and talked to some of the Mexicans or whatever, but you know, once the word got circulated through all the blacks and let everybody know what was going on, that the Southsider had got into an argument with the lady in the chair and he was throwing the chair at her. Of course, the brothers took the position of, once again, you know, we not supporting no guard or whatever. That's not what we huddled up for. So, you know, everybody is good going back to your cells or whatever. And that's what ended up happening. Miss B, she wasn't a regular in the building anyway. And if my memory serves me correct, she wasn't there the next night. A regular is a person who works 5 times on a regular basis, right? So maybe she was just doing some overtime. I definitely assume that she got a reprimand or whatever, because like I said, it was well known that at times she could get mouthy with the convicts. Now, you have a lot of guards, of course, who didn't like certain situations like that. In the event they felt that a guard's mouth or a guard's actions or whatever was putting them in harm's way, because of course when they get the call that they need assistance in whatever building or to the yard, they're all going to come to support their fellow officer. But at the end of the day, once the smoke clears and everything gets figured out, if they feel that, you know, a guard is putting them at risk through whatever type of behavior that it is, of course they're going to check that guard, because they don't want to be put into unnecessarily potential violence, potential getting hurt, stabbed, or whatever, because they know at times, you know, you will have collective groups come to support their people, and if things get out of hand, of course they have to come to the aid of their fellow officer. In a lot of ways, the guards will mimic the actions and the characteristics of the convicts. You know, they're not going to snitch on each other. They're going to stick together. You know, it's just a whole lot of, to me, it's a trip, because doing time, anybody that's done a fair amount of time will definitely tell you that in a lot of ways, the officers act and emulate like any other street gang or any other gang. You know, like I say, they're definitely not just to snitch on each other to the higher ups, to the administration and stuff like that. And I've been told by a guard or two, you know, that, hey man, we're just like you guys in the way that we will discipline and take care of our own if another guard's action is potentially risking us to violence, right? I had a friend of mine one time, and I believe he was in Donovan. I'm not 100% correct, right? But I believe he was in Donovan, and just so happened the cell he was in was facing the parking lot. So a lot of times, you know, when it was time for them to leave work around 3 or 4 or whatever time they left, he would just be staring out the window, you know, watching the officers come and go, looking at the women and all that type of stuff. And he said one particular day he looked out there and he seen the guards out there fighting in the parking lot. So they definitely at times, you know, would be at odds with each other depending on certain little things that went on at the job. Now, you may have some people out there who saying, well, you know, this Mexican dude or whatever, he threw a chair up there at the black guard. She was a female. Why didn't the blacks defend her and take off? Well, under no circumstances is that ever going to happen, because at the end of the day, you know, that is still a guard, you know, and you're not going to have any group defend a guard, female or male, regardless of the situation, because that's just not the way things happen in prison. If my memory serves me correct, also too, the guards may have said something, of course, to the Mexican dude or whatever, trying to figure out what transpired and what made things get out of hand like that. But if my memory serves me correct, he wasn't removed from the building or whatever. You know, I don't know if they said, okay, well, Miss B is crazy, she got a mouth on her or whatever. But, you know, in a situation like that, it's possible that, you know, they could have tried to take him to the hole for assault on staff or whatever. But like I said, if my memory serves me correctly, they just left him alone and he was in the building. You know, a lot of times when you have guards become unprofessional, like I said, you will have administration or whatever talk to them, just due to the potential problem it will lead if it happens to involve other guards coming to help her and stuff like that. So anyway, man, you already know what it is. It's your boy 16 of life. Resume normal program.
I done lost too many homies from the park in my lifetime. Look at my heart, it ain't no telling what you might find. The streets turned to cold and dark as the nighttime. I stay strapped, get at me like a mark, I'm a light mine. Push the cold line for the set, yeah, that's straight facts. Now I'm wise and living with regrets, and I hate that. The judge gave me 16 to life cause I ate that. I walked off 24 flat and came straight back, right to the turf where some swear it ain't safe at. Raised up in church, but this Glock is where my faith at. I really played ball, Earl Walton, Chris Meshack, Don Leary, K Love, you know I gotta stay black. I never made the pack train by Cole Smith. I was on George selling crack, stacking cheese on the dope ship. The sawed-off gauge up my sleeve made my coat stiff. Like Emery or Jimmy Lee, I was quick to smoke shit, but I ain't talking dope, bitch. Time wasn't scaring me. Cross the line, I'ma pop the 9, that's a guarantee. My homies was dying, they never gave me therapy. It fucked up my mind, and I'm still praying for clarity. They locking up our kind, I don't like the disparity. They'll give a nigga life before they give a nigga charity. The streets was my wife though, I begged the hoe to marry me. Now I'm dedicated in this life until they bury me. Reality, I wish I never spent a day in it. I'd advise all my young homies not to play in it. Promise when they put you in that dirt, you gon' stay in it. Pastor Thomas opened up the church, I need to pray in it. His mama dropped enough tears to fill a coffee cup. Started to shout and passed out when his coffin shut. She going crazy cause her baby stuck. She prayed to God all her life and now she feel he never gave a fuck. His mama dropped enough tears to fill a coffee cup. Started to shout and passed out when his coffin shut. She going crazy cause her baby stuck. She prayed to God all her life and now she feel he never gave a fuck. My little homie didn't get the message, now his family stressing in the church pews. Tears dropping on their dresses and their church shoes. Asking God to bless us, please, and help us through this worst news. His mama got weak in the knees when she saw his hearse move. She hurt and confused, her son Nate was only 17. Now she's struggling with her faith, wondering what do heaven mean. Every night in every dream, she see him in the graveyard. The pain hurt her deep, she losing sleep and make her days hard. Can't stop her tears, her thoughts got suicidal fast. Went to church for 30 years and threw her Bible in the trash. Every day she asked if Christ really exists, then why he let him do her baby like this? She screaming damn damn with closed tight fists like she Florida Evans. Middle fingers pointed toward the heavens. She said fuck God, the church, and the reverend cause her soul was hurt. Her baby rotting in that hole in the dirt. I saw my homies hold their funerals at the church. We used to singing in the angel choir. I swear it hurts and I'm just praying that eternal fire ain't their destiny. Lord knows I'd be a liar if I said this life ain't got the best of me. And I ain't tired seeing my homies expire dying young at a rapid rate. I went to jail, caught a L and watched the love evaporate. Saw homies who was active go out backwards and deactivate. I knew that they was actors when them actors started acting fake. Jealousy, capping, hating, all the above got me feeling cuz where is the love? Homies, you knew all your life will sneak up on you, fill your head with them slugs and leave you dead in the back of the club. Emilio, rest in peace. Wrestling with this life is a beef, and Lord knows there's nothing nice on these streets. Just niggas with poles, they heart is cold and they be dying to beef, and leave your mama sad crying with grief. His mama dropped enough tears to fill a coffee cup. Started to shout and passed out when his coffin shut. She going crazy cause her baby stuck. She prayed to God all her life and now she feel he never gave a fuck. His mama dropped enough tears to fill a coffee cup. Started to shout and passed out when his coffin shut. She going crazy cause her baby stuck. She prayed to God all her life and now she feel he never gave a fuck.